Hi everybody, it's Claire from Girvan Library here, and today we're going to have our very first ever author spotlight, which is going to be a spotlight on one of our favourite authors. And today we are going to start with the author of all these books I've got here. I'm just like a kind of floating head in between them, but that's okay. And the person who wrote all these books was Terry Pratchett, and that's our author we're going to talk about today. Terry Pratchett is the UK's best-selling author, and there's a reason for that. He is one of the best writers I've ever read. Now, he's mainly a fantasy writer. I'm not usually a fantasy reader, but his books kind of transcend the genre. They're not Little Men on Mars fantasy. They're not Save the World fantasy. What he does is take the ordinary and put it in extraordinary circumstances. So, he wrote over 59 books, but we are going to concentrate today on the Discworld series. Now, the Discworld is a kind of parallel world to Earth that Terry Pratchett created, and instead of being a round sphere that goes round the sun, it is carried on the back of 4 elephants. It's a flat world, carried on the back of 4 elephants who are on top of a large star turtle called the Great Atoon. And Atoon is majestically swimming through space for eternity. But that's not really important. What's important is what happens on the Discworld. Now, this is an entire fictional world. There are maps and different things of it that you can look at if that's your thing. It has big cities, it has hilly areas, it has the chalk, it has marshes, it has lots of different areas, very cohesive, very well thought out. You won't ever read about it and go, I thought that was over there. That won't happen. This is an established, fixed world. And there's lots of different there's lots of different series of books even within the Discworld series. So there's a series about the wizards and what they kind of get up to. There's a series about witches. There's a series about Ankh-Morpork Park, which is the kind of capital city of Lancre. But they all intertwine. They all have recurring characters and who will become so known to you that you see and you're like, oh, right, okay, they're in this one. You don't need to read them in any order. Although there is so many, it won't make any difference. They all stand alone, whether you read them in order or not. The only ones I would say to read in order is possibly the ones that the witches are in, because there is definite momentum in them. And the last ever book that Terry Pratchett wrote was this one, which is The Shepherd's Crown, and it was actually published after his death. And this is the climax of the Tiffany Aching books, where she comes into her witchy powers. So if you do want to read some of them in order, I would recommend these ones. There's an urban myth that some Terry Pratchett fanatics, I am a Terry Pratchett fanatic, but I'm not this bad, haven't read this one. They keep it on their shelf so that they've always got an unread Terry Pratchett in their life. Don't know if that's true or not. Not me, I would read it as soon as it came out. So, the strength of these books, they're supernatural, they've got witches and vampires and werewolves in them, they've got ordinary people in them. The strength of the writing is that it takes the surreal and puts it into real circumstances, real characters with real feelings, and it's basically a satire on humankind. Although these people could be werewolves, or they could be vampires, they could be any of these things, but they're so real and such human qualities. You know, they're sad, they're happy, they want to marry somebody, they want to escape a scenario. It's all real situations, and that's why you get so engrossed in it, because it's so real. You feel like the Discworld is a real place. And whenever you pick up another book, it's like jumping back into that place again. So I'm only going to talk about one character today, because there's millions of characters in the Discworld, and they're all very accurately drawn. You'll be able to see them as soon as you read them. The character I'm going to talk about is Granny Weatherwax, who is my favourite. And she's in The Shepherd's Crown, is Marilda Weatherwax. She's in Witches Abroad. She's in lots of these. I don't know what order I've got them in. She's in loads of them. And she is a typical Terry Pratchett character. Super well drawn, super motivated. You know what her motivations are. You know why she does what she does. She's a strong female character. Terry Pratchett was way ahead of his time. He wrote equal rights about a female becoming a wizard, because wizards previously were always men. Granny Weatherwax is in that one as well. Way before equal rights were being spoken of that much. So there's a lot of social commentary in the books as well that you wouldn't even realise is there. So good. So Granny Weatherwax is stern and she is dark and she is powerful and she's not scared of MD and she will go up against any supernatural being or human being, anything. And it's just so nice to see strong female characters, strong male characters in it as well, also weak female characters and weak male characters. The whole spectrum of humankind is in these books. So, if you have tried Terry Pratchett already, which you quite well may have done, why not try Neil Gaiman? Or why not try Douglas Adams? They are writers. Terry Pratchett stands alone. He's not going to be imitated. You're not going to find another writer that writes the same way as him. But Neil Gaiman and Douglas Adams do the same thing, where they create worlds, relatable worlds, satirical worlds. So they're worth a try as well if you like Terry Pratchett. And there's so many of them. So if you did like them, you've just opened up a whole new avenue of books that you can go and read. There's quite a few of these on the Libby app, so you can use your South Ayrshire Council library card to download them for free. And if you do like them, keep reading. Okay, bye for now everybody.